News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Good afternoon to you. It's the Chris Baker Radio Show. Hi. I am Chris Baker, and I'm your host. Later on in the 5 o'clock hour, it is Reverse Trivia. And by the way, very excited. Joining us on the panel today for Reverse Trivia is a member of royalty. So that'll be very, very exciting. And by the way, speaking of royalty, a member of insurance royalty joining us on the radio show. Of course, you hear him on the Good Morning Show all the time, but we borrowed him this afternoon. Art Jetter, former president of the National Association of Health. And you're like a big insurance big shot. I'll just put it that way. How's that? Is that okay, Art?
Fair enough.
Yeah,
that's nice of you to say.
Well, you know, you are a big shot. I'm a man of great achievement here on the Chris Baker Radio Show. You know everything about insurance. This is what Gary Saddlemeyer is always ranting and raving about. And a couple of things I wanted to ask you about. First and foremost, United Healthcare has announced that they're going to be pulling out of the Obamacare exchanges. Now, is that all exchanges? Is that some exchanges? Exactly what is it they're actually doing here?
They're pulling out of most of them, most of the state exchanges. And that's because I think that the carriers who participated in the exchange all felt that they would get more government subsidies to help them pay all the claims. And those weren't forthcoming. Last October, the companies were expecting almost $3 billion, and they received a little over 10% of that amount.
Now, is that because Nebraska does not accept the Medicare exchanges?
No.
Oh, so that has
nothing
to do
with it? No, the reason that carriers have a problem is that the math just doesn't work. If the government was going to subsidize this program heavily, then it would work. But it would take a massive amount of subsidy.
Right. So, in other words, they said, oh, it's only going to be about like this much. You're only going to spend this amount of money. And the insurance company said, oh, okay, well, then all right, we'll do that. But then it turned out to be much more money.
That's part of it, absolutely. There are other parts. For example, the carriers were expecting that there would be a good mix of the people who applied in terms of age. You know, when we're very young, we're very healthy, and quite often we don't feel like buying insurance, health insurance, if we could use that for a car payment, let's say.
Right.
I don't feel that way. But somebody older, somebody my age might have significant health problems, and the trend then is to have insurance. So the idea was that with the penalties for not being in the system, it would force people to buy. But one of the other things they did was in the act. This is a big committee putting this act together. So separately, these things may make sense, but you add them all together, and the math fails. So what they said was in the Affordable Care Act that people in their 60s currently pay about 7 times more than somebody in their early 20s for the same health insurance plan. So that's wrong. Let's fix that. Let's say they can't pay more than 3 times what a 20-year-old would pay. Well, the outcome wasn't what they expected. The outcome they expected was that would reduce the prices for the older folks. And what it did was almost triple the cost of the 20-year-old to get into the system. So while they might be getting subsidized, or maybe not, the cost became significant for the very healthy people. And so for anybody that doesn't understand insurance, what you want to do is have a big group of people, only a few of them having significant claims, and everybody that's healthy not taking out of the pool, but helping pay into the pool so that the premiums are low. Mm-hmm. And that's just not panning out.
So people being responsible and buying insurance just in case, not actually having to use these benefits, therefore that helps out people who need the benefits. That's
been the historic case, yes.
Okay.
That's how
all right.
every insurance, that's how your car insurance works. That's how
right.
your life insurance works.
Right, but this is health insurance, and for some reason, government decided to botch this up.
Well, they did a good job of that.
Yeah, that of course, my words, not yours, particularly. Also, something else that I was reading about last night is that premiums in Obamacare, health premiums, are about to skyrocket in 2017. What have you heard about that? What do you know about that?
Well, I didn't read the article that you read that said the word skyrocket. I expect that they're going to go up dramatically just by the nature of the thing. I think a lot of people have determined that you get in during open enrollment, you get your problems taken care of, and then you drop your plan and quit paying premiums. Well, that has the same effect of the healthy people staying out. And because you can get in next January 1st.
Right.
So we see a lot of that, and enough that that's a significant issue.
So, by the way, that was predicted as well. Those of us who did not trust this idea, the way that it was being implemented, and then last but not least, this entire Affordable Care Act has not yet been fully implemented yet.
Correct.
So
correct. I mean, the Cadillac. Some of the things will be deferred, like the Cadillac tax, will be deferred until 2020, and that my expectation is it'll be deferred forever unless they fix the whole program.
Oh my! Wow, this is well. On one side, I kind of feel like gloating because every bit of this, though I'm not an insurance genius like you. But I saw this coming. It just,
sure.
Government never brings in any type of program at or under budget. It's always way more expensive. And the fact that this thing has not been fully implemented, yet at the same time, certain politicians have enjoyed the political benefits of touting the benefits of this program, I have found this quite annoying. So, by the way, for those of you just listening, we're talking with Art Jetter. He, of course, is a insurance big shot. I'll use those. That's what we say on this show. Normally heard with Gary Saddlemeyer on the Good Morning Show. So the fact that this has not been fully implemented, the fact that the costs that we were told were going to go down are actually going up, and they continue to go up because people are acting pretty much as predicted. Do you have any kind of basic forecast? I mean, I don't want to try to have you say something that we got to hold you to or anything like that. I'm speaking casually, generally. Is this thing just going to implode somewhere down the line around 2019, 2020?
I don't think it'll actually. Well, it depends on how you define implode. I think it'll change dramatically because it's unsustainable. Now, I'm talking specifically about my own opinion about the exchange system, the healthcare.gov. Employers have some options, and they can operate outside the exchange. Part of the issue too might be, I don't want to accuse anybody of anything, but if you're an employer and you had a whole bunch of if your premiums were very high comparatively, and there was a way that you could just push your unhealthy group off to the maybe I shouldn't go down that road, but the exchange suffers from a great number of sources of what we like to call adverse selection, where unhealthy people, a disproportionate share of unhealthy people are going to be in that exchange, and that's going to drive those prices up. Employers, on the other hand, have a lot of options, and if I can put a plug in for my fellow agents, that's who they ought to talk to. If they want to find those people, there's a button on the website at nahu.org that says find an agent, and it'll show you people that know what to do about all this stuff.
Wow.
A lot of agents have been, I don't want to say excluded from healthcare.gov, but it's become so difficult to work with that system that many of the agents would just refer you to somebody else that can deal with it.
Wow. Well, that's not what we were expecting. We were expecting everything to work just perfectly, and we were all going to save money. And
the same,
yeah.
Apparently, you and I went to the same sixth grade math class because, we both saw it.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Some time ago.
This is quite frightening. All right, Mr. Jetter, thank you so much. We really, really appreciate your time today, man. Thank you so much.
Oh, well, happy to do it.
All right.